Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the webinar, or probably an interactive virtual class on virtues of virtual selling. My name is Ravi, and I head Mercuri India operations. And Mercuri International is more than 60 years globally, and Mercuri India is more than 30 years. And this is part of our contribution to the sales fraternity to pass on our knowledge, to pass on our special skills in a nice way to help all of us to become more successful. So we conducted several webcasts, and this is one of them. This is the first for this year, 2020. I'm going to make it engaging, interactive, participative. So I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to ask you to do some little quick tasks if required, and you're going to give all those answers on the chat box. Can you all hear me now? Yes? Okay, just we have a reasonably good internet. Hopefully it'll work well, everything, as always, technology. All right, okay. Now, turn off your videos and turn off your microphones, keep it on mute, and we'll use a chat box extensively. And I found it a very powerful way to really connect with you. Except that I can't see you because I don't want the video on, because it'll cut down on bandwidth. I can feel the presence and I can work along with you as well. All right, okay. Right, let's begin the webcast. Virtual selling, virtues of virtual selling. Quick question. You know, as always, somebody asks me, virtual selling, is it's so new really? Is an important question. Virtual selling, is it so new, really speaking, actually? All right. Now, we did a little bit of a little exercise. We did a little bit of a research as well. And, you know, we found out something interesting. Is a very nice little statement over there. Aldus Manutius, a merchant from Venice, he said to float the first known business catalog in 1490s, before 1500. We are talking of 500 years ago, 5 centuries, offering 15 books by Greek and Latin authors for sale. You know, that's what this man obviously did several years ago. You can see some of the old style of advertising on the left side. So that is one. Later in the US in 1700s, Benjamin Franklin is believed to have brought the first ever order by mail order business to the public. I'm talking of 300 years ago. You know, it makes a big difference and impact as well. Now, if you look at it, therefore, I mean, these were kind of sales which took place where there was an invisible salesperson. Probably the salesperson was not there, or maybe the salesperson was there in some form, like a soul of the salesperson wading through this catalog, like a kind of a ghost over there, I don't know. So that maybe is a precursor to the concept of virtual selling. Once we complete this webinar, I'm going to send you, if possible, I'll check the presentation card. I'll send you a poem I wrote on virtual selling recently, which talks about, I mean, there's several things in the world really virtual. You know, you go to, you pray in the temple or church, a mosque for someone, and that prayer actually leads to the other person's, whatever, heart, soul, whatever, and there is, the injury gets cured, the illness gets cured. It's virtual. And, you know, you actually like a person, you love a person, the feelings get, I don't think that is an internet card of feelings, is a Wi-Fi actually, in the real sense of the word. So virtual has been always there in the world. So what are we talking about this new virtual selling? Okay, somebody said very nicely, people actually do not buy goods and services, they buy relations, they buy stories, and they buy magic. And it is a sales guy. I'm using the word guy without any gender bias. And he's a person, she's a person who actually creates and weaves this magic. And you can weave magic out of nothing. You don't have to be physically present to weave a magic. And sometimes when you want a magic show on the screen, you're excited. So you can actually view a magic anywhere. So that's really where virtual selling fits into here. Imagine, guys, prospecting, pitching, closing, whenever, wherever, whatever the customer wants, needs, or aspires. It's almost like making the sales guy omnipresent, which actually makes us omnipotent. And therefore, that can make a big impact. What a lovely world to be in, because I can be in places as well, amazingly. Okay, so that is really the focus of virtual selling. Hey, what is virtual selling really? Could it just send in your answers in the text box as what you think is virtual selling? I'm waiting. It's about 30-second task and chat. Could you just do that, please? I've been waiting for the messages to pop in. What's virtual selling really? Send it to everyone. No need to me only. Yeah. It's like a real classroom. I can see you all actually in my own mind. Yeah, waiting for someone. Non-face-to-face selling. Yeah, that's Kamal. Was right. Creating a need and meeting. Yeah, that's selling in any case. That's good. Samir, yes, absolutely. Well, what is virtual selling? Virtual selling. Artificial selling. Ah, that's interesting. Magesh Swaminathan. Artificial selling. I like the word. Okay. Artificial selling. Okay. Selling when you're not seeing the other person. Okay. The buyer. That's interesting. Okay. What else? Anything else? Okay. Just one more. Maybe one more. Anyone else wants to say something? Okay, all right. Or sell anything without involving yourself in a kind of physical form. Creating magic remotely agile. That's brilliant. You're not physically able to sell the concept. It's indirect sale. Okay, that's what Jai says. Selling without being there physically. Okay, fantastic. I think a lot of things have come nicely. Okay, getting the business without being there. That's all. Well, almost. Getting the business without going there. Almost. I think that is really virtual selling. What do you see, guys, or the challenges in virtual selling? What do you think can be the problems, challenges in virtual selling? Could you just send in your text messages, please? What do you think can be the challenges in virtual selling? Trustworthiness, oh yes, absolutely, good, because physically you can't see the person, yes, okay. Maybe you can see him on the screen, but still not enough, okay. Yes, you're right, trustworthiness. Samir, what else? What else can be the challenges in virtual selling? Technology, oh yes, absolutely. Technology can be, yes, very true. Okay, technology can. Emotional connect intelligence, oh yes, absolutely. We'll see that. Emotions can be conveyed anyway as well. Lack of in-person relationship, connect, building trust. Understanding the behavior of customer. You can't see the person's behavior, perhaps, that easily. Yes, absolutely, yes. Meeting in person builds better relationship. Yeah, I guess so. Yes, absolutely, yes, okay. Right, okay. Pankaj, you can't hear me. I presume others can hear. I don't know. Just check it out, guys. You will find out. Difficult for buyer to decide given all the noise in the market. Yes. Acceptance. Oh yes. Credibility, as we can call it. Oh yes. Absolutely true. I think there are several challenges in virtual selling, no doubt about it. All right. Let's see, we can see something over there. Before webinar starts, everything is clear. Pankaj, I think you have to check it out. I don't know whether I have, I think it's all there. There's no at all, I can see that. Check it out, Pankaj, if you can kindly, please. Okay. I don't know, really, I can find it. Okay, can you all hear me otherwise? Okay, all right. Now, do you see some benefits of virtual selling? Do you see some benefits? Cost of travel and follow-up, absolutely. Yes, better reach. Yes, you can. I mean, today with the traffic and other challenges, you can see several people. Absolutely. Yes. Speed. Yes, that way. Saving of time and cost. Yes, absolutely true. Omnipresent. Brilliant. Larger audience. Oh, yes. Big market size. Right. Anything is a market as long as you have the authority to operate in that market. That's all. Better productivity. Absolutely brilliant. So, I guess there are plenty of benefits of virtual selling. Cost of goods reduced due to size and scale. Absolutely true. Automation can make multiple opportunity capturing. Oh, yes, you can do that as well. Very true. Act fast. The speed becomes a very powerful medium to do that as well. Oh, yes. That means there are clearly benefits. Of course, we have not been used to it. In some way, we have been used to it, but not really, clearly. So we got to do how to do it very effectively to see if we can. This webcast is going to give you some foundation for that. There are 3 levers for virtual selling. The 3 levers. Levers act. Levers open the doors. Levers actually make the magic happen. Number one is knowledge. Number two is skills. Number three is technology. Knowledge, skills, and technology make the virtual selling happen. The three levers, the three critical levers. There could be some more, but these are three critical levers. Let's look at lever one in terms of knowledge. And if you look at knowledge, there are certain clear elements that we need to keep in mind. Deep expertise, because we have a limited time window. We have a limited time window. We're going to capture the attention of the other person. We're going to come across as credible. We have to come across as strong. We have to come across as capable. We have to come across as knowledgeable. That means we have to really understand our products, our applications, our solutions, the options, everything very well, effectively. Because if I have the knowledge, my limited time window, I can use it very effectively. That means preparation in terms of our knowledge about what we're offering, what we're selling is exceptionally important. There's a lovely statement a guy called Mark Twain made. I'm sure you must have heard of Mark Twain. He wrote books like Adventures of Tom Sawyer, etc. And he said, I didn't have time to prepare a short speech, therefore I made a long one. I didn't have time to prepare a short speech, therefore I made a long one. I mean, to make a long sales speech, to make a long conversation, you don't require preparation because you just start and it'll go on its own. But to be short, precise, because that shows the kind of expertise. Like somebody said very well, it takes years of intelligent effort to be simple. Something simple, meaningful, quick, and just gives the essence of what you want to communicate, deep expertise. So get the knowledge act done very effectively. Number two, communicating value over virtual platforms. I mean, we don't need AI. We don't need machine learning at this point of time. We don't need virtual reality. When this happens, of course, we can use it. Actually, when you want to communicate value over virtual platform, you want to show a return on investment, you want to show a value proposition, the ability to be precise. Take that one page, like I always say, can you communicate why the customer should buy your service or your product or your offering or your solution in three major reasons, three reasons why you should buy. These are the three clear benefits you're going to get. These are the three tangible benefits. So ability to communicate value over virtual platforms is second knowledge. That means we must prepare, be able to articulate very effectively. Number three, which is vital, is understand customers' platform preferences. When I use the word platform, the virtual platform does he prefer a particular type of, does he prefer Zoom? Does he prefer Teams meeting? Does he prefer live size? Does he prefer telephone? You can even use telephone. You don't have to be seen. Your voice is so powerful. Your voice is so good. You can use it very effectively. So use customers' platform. Several times, this morning I had a real virtual selling call for about 45 minutes time. And the customer said, I would prefer just a telephone. And we just did a fantastic job. Understand customers' platform, because our ability to adapt to the customer's preference of platform is vital. That means knowledge of our ability to do the various platforms is very essential. And if the customer is an existing customer, have some good idea of customer's history. You must be able to know if he's buying a repetitive product, if he's buying a consumable, you must be able to have on your fingertips customer's buying history, when he bought, what he bought, how much he bought, and why there's a gap in buying, what could be the possible reason, to establish that kind of a productive conversation. Make the customer think, make the customer recognize that you know what's happening between the two of you in terms of business relationship. I think is extremely vital if it's an existing customer. That's essential to do that as well. Okay. Using, which is very essential, data to influence customer decisions, precision and articulation. Convert, sometimes when you have so much knowledge about a product, we actually don't explain it, don't present it in a precise, impactful way. Knowledge of what we have should be converted into a precise articulation using data. Simple example. If you really want to talk about, you're selling a capital equipment, you want to talk about a kind of a return on investment. I think in a very, very good virtual selling actually scenario, you can even have one of the earliest slides or whatever you want to have. I want to show you, sir, how you can get your payback on your machine within 18 months, 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years. And that comes bang on right at the beginning. So influencing through data, because when emotions are a little more difficult, take time in virtual selling, data becomes the currency of conversation between the two people. Data becomes the connector between two people very effectively. And we need to be aware and be clear about the data that we are presenting. So the knowledge of what we do. And I think this is something very interesting. Positioning the on-screen sales process as a differentiator. In fact, we should be able to say, sir, I don't even need to come and meet you. Of course, I'll meet you. I'll be delighted to meet you anytime. I will be there. But I can tell you now, at the end of this, you will have such a wonderful understanding of what we have, and you know that we make a big difference to you. So the ability to say that we are very good in virtual selling, we are very good virtually, we are very good in virtual relationships, we're very good in virtual contact. We actually are very honest and committed in whatever we do. Therefore, what I am when you see me is what I am when you see me on the screen. It doesn't really matter. I read a lovely book some years ago. It's written by a guy called Richard Bach. Some of you have read his book. It's a book called, there's several books, where the most famous is Jonathan Livingston Seagull, which is one of the classics. There's another book which many of you may not have read, not heard as well. I happened to read them. It's a place called There Is No Such Thing as Far Away. There's no such thing as far away. I mean, just think about it. You have one of your friends whom you have not met for 30, 40 years, 20 years, and you meet, and it doesn't take more than a couple of minutes to establish a connect. And even if he calls you on the phone, I think you can feel the connection happening. So I think distance is in the mind. I think the moment we move away from the distance, virtually real, this is what I am. It's exactly the good I am. I think the ability to position confidently through practice that we are very, very good in virtually doing many things for you, I think makes a big, big difference as well. Think about it, guys. Many years ago, several years ago, if I say, if you want to get a product service done, you had to go to the engineer to get the service. But many times now, some of the problems you get solved over the telephone itself. And then you say, the guy was damn good. So it's possible to do several things virtual very effectively, and we must make it as a tangible advantage for us. So the first piece in terms of knowledge, quickly summarizing the knowledge, expertise, limited time window, communicating value, understanding platform preferences, history, data influence decision, precision articulation, positioning on-screen sales process. That means our level of preparation, or if I use another lovely word, preparedness. Preparation, preparedness. Can any of you or some of you quickly tell me what is preparedness compared to preparation? What's the difference between preparation and preparedness? Can any of you tell me? Just send in your text messages. 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Preparation, preparedness. What's the difference? Army is in a state of preparedness. Preparedness is proactive, Samir, brilliant. Prepared for surprise is prepared. Oh, brilliant, absolutely. Preparation is to be made. Preparedness is already prepared. Yes, Pankaj. Pankaj, you got it bang on. Send it to everyone as well. Yes. I mean, you say army in a state of preparedness. It's not like, when somebody says that preparedness is to answer for future challenges. Absolutely, absolutely, no doubt about that. I mean, think about it. When the enemy is going to come to attack, you can't say, oh, come on, give me like a week's time, I'll get ready. No, you have to be in a state of preparedness. Preparedness is preparation with a subset. I think that is the way we can work very effectively. So if you want to be good in virtual selling, master this knowledge part, and then you'll be in a better state of preparedness. Because remember, you never know when you get an opportunity for this. Because if somebody calls you on the phone, there's an inquiry comes to your company, or somebody tells you contact this customer, you don't have to say, oh, I have to travel all the way. Instead, you can just pick up the phone, you can pick up your mobile and start the conversation. Unless your preparedness, you can't do that. I think that's important. Okay, so that's about knowledge. The knowledge in a new way for virtual selling. Skills of virtual selling. Virtual active listening. Being there, focused and radiant. Remember, one of the beauties of virtual selling is you are entirely concentrating on the screen, either your desktop, your laptop, your Mac, or your phone even. But phone, you actually don't see the person. But I always recommend to people, when you are actually on the phone, visualize the person in front of you. If you don't know him, it doesn't matter. Just visualize the person. I mean, from the voice, you can even pick up a little young or middle-aged or whatever. But then put a visual. Because once you have visual, your focus becomes easy. Therefore, in virtual active listening, you want to be there. You have to be, you have to sit upright with a little bend. I'm giving you some small suggestions. And you've got to be absolutely focused and, I would say, radiant. Radiant in the sense, your face should be expressive. I'm going to enjoy this conversation. I don't know this person. I'm going to have a conversation with him, and he's going to become my customer. Someday I'm going to meet him. I'm going to meet him when he becomes my customer, certainly, and he's going to be my customer, definitely. So radiant is about expressive. Radiant is about the joy in the face. It is not that, oh, I got to talk to this customer. Hello. It never works. Radiant. So skills is radiant and focused, very essential. Number two, we must have the proficiency in terms of technology. The skills of using technology, whether you're using a platform or anything, you have to use it very effectively. That's important. Third, you could be sometime team selling and group selling. And if you do that, 2 or 3 people are connected. You might get one of your application guys. You might get one of your solution architects. You might get maybe a boss to come on the line. Think about it. Such a great team selling is possible in virtual selling. You don't have the next appointment. You can say, sir, if you could just hold on for a few moments, I will get my solution specialist on the line in a minute's time. Prepare him well, and you can get him online. Then your ability to establish the handshake, your ability to connect very well, your ability to use technology, your ability to be collaborative, your ability to be silent when required, and speak only when needed, and use those moments of transferring very effectively is another nice skill. A team selling can be exceptionally well done using virtual selling. Quick, productive, and joyful virtual conversation. You see, these 3 words actually can coexist beautifully. I can be quick if I'm well prepared. I've got everything on my table. I'm ready to access things very well. I know what I'm accessing. My laptop, my Mac, my mobile is organized well. I've got papers on the table very well, not searching for things. That is quick. Productive, because I am valuing customers' time, because the time is limited. Therefore, naturally, my productivity is high. And most important is I can be joyful because I don't know this person. And if I can have a lovely conversation with a person whom I have not met before, that shows my own ability to have great conversation. That means it is joyful. I have one more person as a friend without having even met him. Quick, productive, joyful, and virtual conversation. 4 pieces of skills which make a big difference. Virtual active listening skills, being there focused and radiant, proficiency in technology, team selling with using collaboration, quick, productive, joyful virtual conversation. 4 skill nuggets on virtual mode. It's like 4 tools, 4 little tiny tips. Number 1, stay animated. Use your hands. Hands, because when you sit and do that, you have to be moving your body a little bit. Stay animated. That's exactly what I'm doing now. You are actually talking to someone. He's in front of you. You can't see him, but you can visualize him. And you can see his smile, you can see his happiness, you can see his acceptance, you can see the questions you're going to ask, you can see that he's involved in the conversation. Because if he's not involved, he will not be there. Absolutely. That's the good news. Because remember, in a virtual selling, if he's not involved, he will at least be a little polite for some time. Here, that's not required even. So stay animated. Use of hand, use of gestures, because these give a lot of expression to your communication. You want to draw a picture, you want to present something, use of hands can make a big impact. Use voice and smile well. Voice modulation, speed up to create excitement, slow down for emphasis, use pause, give some time, just a few seconds. So, as you see very clearly, we have three distinct, powerful advantages of this particular product in exactly applications like yours. What do you think about it? And you say, what do you think about it? Your voice should show. Isn't it good? Isn't it great? Flat voice. Because remember, between sales guy and a customer, one guy should be very enthusiastic. And I bet that's got to be the sales guy. And enthusiasm travels through in a Wi-Fi, travels through virtually. And it's like Wi-Fi. Sometimes you say, oh, the download is very low, upload is very low because you're staying too far away from Wi-Fi. But the Wi-Fi is very good. Remember, your voice is like a Wi-Fi. Your energy is like a Wi-Fi. If the Wi-Fi is good, it'll reach the customer. He doesn't have to worry about not getting that exact level. Use voice and smile well. Enthusiasm. Energy comes from taking responsibility. I'm responsible for the 20 minutes time. I'm responsible for 10 minutes time. I want to make the best use of it. I want to make it good for the customer. If I want to make it good for the customer, it'll become good for me. Think about it. Between two people, as I said, if the customer is enthused, I think we just have got it made. Display energy and enthusiasm. And create visual images in the air as you speak. That means when you're describing something, when you don't see it. And if he's actually having a screen, you can see it here beautifully. You are almost talking to him in pictures when the screen is on. And if it's only telephone, you can still visualize that you are actually creating those visual images in the air as you speak, which means 4 vital skills on a virtual mode. On a screen visible, even on a telephone, it can be felt. Stay animated. Use voice and smile well. Display energy, enthusiasm. Create visual images in the air as you speak. Friends, there are 3 conversation killers. You should be careful about them. 1, you are talking more than the customer. Because we have no clue. Customer may still be looking at you on a screen, but you can see his face is lost. We are lost him. You are talking more than the customer. The moment we realize we've been talking a lot more, stop, pause, check. Tell me, friends, typically a pause, how long is a pause? How long is a pause in terms of time? Text your messages. How much time is a pause? 3 to 5 seconds. Pankaj, yes, Pankaj, you can send it to everybody. Yeah, oh yeah, okay, I sent something. Okay, somebody finished in a minute. Yeah, minute is very long. Absolutely. It's about 2 to 4 seconds, 5 seconds is enough. And somebody said nicely, till the other person speaks, 10 seconds maximum is the outer limit. Okay, 5 seconds is good enough. Let's just count 5 seconds. I'm just pausing now. This is 5. This is a long pause. And when you pause, be vibrant. Have the smile. Just maintain the eye contact. You are encouraging the other person to say something. People like to fill in the pause. So that is the first one. You talk more than the customer. Number 2, the customer actually says, keep going, keep going. And if he says, keep going, we don't know really. You have to ask him, all right, I talked about 3 things, sir. What specifically interests you out of these 3? That means allow the customer to ask a question. Make the customer to think. Ask a question to make the customer answer. interrupt the conversation of your own talking and make the customer engage in it. The customer says, keep going, I'm listening. Stop after a while and say, what do you think about it? Based on the answer, you will know whether he has been listening or not as well. That will give you a framework to do things in a much better way, and you can change the direction of what you're doing. The third conversation killer, customer hogs the conversation. You lose when the customer rambles. You lose the conversation and you lose control when the customer keeps talking a lot. And then at that point of time, just listen for a while, as long as you can and right to do, and then just interrupt. So just one thing you are talking about is take one of his little statements or one of his keywords and then say, I'd like to expand on that and I'd like to see what you think about it. So that's a way to gain control in the conversation. So those who are asking questions or in control of the conversation. Otherwise, if the customer hogs the conversation, we actually lose control. So 3 real conversation killers as well. Make smart use of visuals. Visuals can make a big difference as well. We try hard to make good visuals. Visuals can surprise, pick customer curiosity, and reinforce idea. You can actually have some slides if you use them on a virtual platform, just pictures with no words or very little words, if at all. Many times, what we do is that we tend to put too many words, and when we put too many words in the visuals, it has a very poor effect on virtual selling. It's bad even on face-to-face selling, even worse here on a virtual selling. Visuals can include charts, graphs, diagrams, infographics, process maps, flow charts, less words. The words in the right way, the right tone, the right voice, the right excitement, the right enthusiasm, the right energy should come from us and not from the screen. Words should not pop out of the screen. Words should beautifully come like a river flowing nicely from the sales guy like you and I. But this is only to reinforce them, pick customers' curiosity. So visuals can include that. Use visuals for presenting data, geographic trends, historical patterns, customer needs, spreadsheet summaries, anything. So that means virtual selling also has a great visual appeal. Create special presentations for virtual selling. Don't use the standard, boring 100 slides, 50 slides, 20 slides with 100 words in each page for your presentations as well. So knowledge, skills, the 2 big levers in terms of the power of virtual selling. Now comes the technology. I'm going to spend a lot of time on technology, just give you 4 critical elements. Number 1, choose the most suitable platform. Teleconference, video meeting, web chat. Even on a chat, you can, using words very well, you can make the customer feel so good on a chat. Chat selling is really possible. Assess platform support and reliability. Make sure that the platform doesn't fall in between. Number 3, software installation security, customer comfort, I think is important. Sometimes the customer says, I can't download, I can't do that, and I got to take care of that. And sometimes if there are different platforms, how do you get functionality in cross-platform using meeting complexity? So some little experience in terms of technology can make a big difference. Avoid these irritants, not starting on time. That's why I kept on telling you 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, just want to get everybody in place. I kept on doing it. If you don't hear from me, if you know nothing, if you wonder what's going on, not starting on time. Insisting on download a meeting app. Some people don't like it. So try to have a situation where they don't download or it only temporarily occupies their memory because they may also have firewalls in the company. Assumptions on attention. Don't make judgments about, oh, he's not looking at me. He's actually looking at his mobile for a few seconds. Don't worry. Because remember, at least you can see some of this. You know the distraction. The best way to get attention from someone is to make our piece outstanding. Then the chances of attention are higher and higher and higher. Internet speed may not be within our control, but try our best to do that. And unsuitable fonts and visuals, which are can be distracting because he is looking at a small screen, could be a mobile, could be a laptop, could be a Mac, and then that can be very, very, very distracting and irritating. We deal in the world today, we work with several people today. Age is no barrier, it's a limitation you put on your mind. Age is not a barrier for virtual selling. You can sell to an old person can sell to a young person, it doesn't matter. If you can master knowledge, skills, and the technology side, we can really make a big difference in the area of virtual selling. Selling virtually is the smartest way to sell. And my tip to you is master it before your competition does. Because someone, somewhere, at the same moment as we are now, is thinking how I'm going to be a better virtual salesperson. You don't know where he is because he's virtually present somewhere. And therefore, we're going to work on that. That, in essence, is the elements of virtual selling. I'd be happy to answer your questions. Any questions, anything you want to share, just text on your chat boxes. Or what is one thing you picked up out of this which you're going to use differently from today onwards? What is one thing which gave you confidence? I'm going to start using virtual selling. Anything, just send in your text messages. Pause, yes. Thank you. Pause, learn to pause. Absolutely. Pause is very powerful. Your name says Bucksface. I don't know what's the full name. Pause, yes. Pause is, there's a very famous statement called put on pressure with a pause. That's why the good old expression is pregnant pause. Pause, put on pressure with a pause. Pause isn't, very few people use pause very effectively. Pause can really make a big impact. Listen carefully and answer using the technology and data. Absolutely, Pankaj, that's true. Make the discussion interactive. Yes, you can use chat box. You can do several things. The basic selling remains unchanged. Only platform changes is the right. So, that's an interesting question, Pradeep. Yes, however, the difference is the time window is limited and our own inhibition that he is not directly in front of me can prevent us from being effective. Our own need for face-to-face may be higher. I need to take care. That means we must overcome, we must unlearn one thing. That means I can only sell when I can see the person and nearby. I think if you remove that, I think it could change dramatically. The second big element in virtual selling would be the ability to use multiple things quickly, because if you lost the person, you're not going to get a second opportunity again. And that's why the smartness of using technology, knowledge, and skill is much higher in virtual selling. Preparedness in output, yes. Listening and asking questions, very true. Speak less, absolutely, Sandeep, yes. And if you've got more slides, we end up speaking more with more words on the side. Magesh, data becomes currency. Absolutely. The data is a currency of exchange in a virtual world. People talk about, isn't it? The cryptos of the world, the bitcoins of the world, are all virtual currency where you don't even see. So data is a virtual currency in a virtual selling conversation. Absolutely right, Magesh. Smart use of visuals. Create special visual. Don't take the same deck and go there. Never do that. How to motivate customer for virtual buying in B2B? Oh, yes, I think you can do it. Several things you can do. I'll just keep answering these questions immediately. And if you want more, you can write to us as well. In virtual B2B, you can tell him, sir, of course, I'll come and meet you. But if I'm able to have a conversation with you, I'll be able to even satisfy your needs quickly, better, efficiently. Therefore, all I need is 15 minutes of a conversation. You are such a busy person. Tell me a time we can do, and then I'm sure I'll come and meet you definitely. Use that as a trigger, as a teaser, as the entry though. How to tackle clients' reluctance to use virtual methods. Oh yes, I know, I don't think there's a magic formula for that, but I can tell you one thing, clients are slowly changing because, slowly changing because today, I think in cities, I'm from Bangalore, and Bangalore is today, the news item says, is the world's most traffic congested city. Even clients think that You can do that. They do that. And secondly, you tell, sir, I will come to you maybe for supporting installation. I'll come to you for demonstration. I'll come to you for something more. But now, and even if I had to come and make a visit, which I will be happy to do, this will help me to do that better. Therefore, let me use this. Don't call it virtual selling, call it virtual conversation. But in your mind is virtual selling, but for the customer is a virtual conversation. I have found customers are quite okay with that. Yes, some people will still be. You can't 100% convert everything to virtual selling. We ourselves are not ready for this still. But if you start moving the learning curve up, I think it's more effective. Then you start employing your own virtual selling as well. Any other questions? Anything you want to ask? Anything you want to share? Can virtual selling reduce the current customer touch with us? Not necessarily, Pankaj. It can't. I think what you can do is, if you do virtual selling very effectively, you can keep in touch with the customer virtually in several modes, actually. In fact, you can be good friends virtually with the customer, and once in a while, of course, you can meet him as well. You should do your job well, service well, keep up the commitment. I think virtual selling is never going to reduce the customer touch. What medium do you use to reach people? Oh yes, you can use, the good old telephone to Zooms or life size or meetings. You can have several of them to be used very effectively. There's no difficulty at all. First thing is master using the telephone well, because in telephone, you don't have visual, but telephone gives you the greatest stretch in terms of your skill. If you can master telephone, you can do anything easily. But remember, in a telephone, you are live, active, energized, animated, and the customer is sitting in front of you, and you can visualize him. That's exactly what I'm doing. You can feel it from my voice that I'm not simply speaking. I can visualize you and I'm talking to you. That makes a big impact. Unorganized sector, I don't have an answer to that. Depends on what is this unorganized sector. I don't know. When you say unorganized sector, Jay, what exactly you mean? Are you talking in terms of selling to small businessmen? If you're saying that, yes, absolutely. But yes, you are a true small businessman, but I found that several people who sell tiny items to small businessmen do it on the phone very effectively as well. Except that it can't be no meeting at all. Once in a while, if you do 5 times, maybe once you would meet. So you can have a nice blend of it as well. How virtual is helpful in one-to-many conversation. If you learn the art of facilitating a meeting, you can certainly do virtual selling in meeting very effectively. In fact, it is convenient. Say, for example, your procurement guy, let's say engineering guy for selling B2B, he's sitting in a factory. The marketing guy or the purchase guy is sitting in a corporate office. You have one more person sitting somewhere. You can get them together very effectively, provided you know how to handle group meetings. It's possible to do that. The group focus is important. Digital marketing tools are LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. Some of the tools, you are right, but that is more about creating the awareness, which is very useful as part of digital marketing, or I would say social selling to connect. But virtual selling is one-on-one happening using a medium very effectively. This probably should follow after establishing an awareness through LinkedIn or any other methods. Government organizations, people don't give much value. Well, I guess you are right. More as a humor, government is also changing. Government is also changing. Government is sitting in one of the largest, as you know, the e-bidding position, the Amazon equivalent marketplace is happening. I guess it's changing, but yes, I guess you can't change them dramatically, but yes, they're changing. But any case, I think if we are ready to make the change, and if we do that, hopefully we can change and influence a few more people, my friends. Great. Very good questions. Start. My request is within the next 1 week or 2, maximum February, do 1 or 2 virtual selling and send us a message that I did it, it worked, this is a problem, this is help I want. We're going to give it to you a free virtual service.